So let's talk about a time when a cricket match stopped being about cricket. It started with bats and balls, sure, but it ended up as this crazy, high-stakes math problem, all playing out live for millions to see.
And it all hinges on this one single question that it feels wrong, right? It goes against everything we think sports are about. Why would a team, a professional team mind you, with their whole season on the line, actually try to lose?
The answer is somehow even weirder than the question itself. They'd try to lose so they could make it to the playoffs. Yeah, I know, it sounds completely backwards, but stick with me. We're going to unpack exactly how this bizarre situation came to be.
Okay, so let's set the stage. It's March 14th, 2026, the final league match. You've got the Gujarat Warriors taking on Royal Challengers Bangalore. And by the time this game was wrapping up, just winning, that was kind of the last thing on their minds. The goal had become way more complicated. And get this, the entire season for both teams boiled down to this one single, absolutely absurd moment, the very last ball of the game. So the team batting, RCB, they had a calculator in their heads. They knew if they scored exactly 2 runs, they'd get into the playoffs, even though they'd still lose this particular match. And the other team, the Warriors, their goal was just as weird. Let them score 1 run, fine. Let them hit a boundary for 4, whatever. Just for the love of God, do not let them score exactly 2.
So you're probably asking, how on earth did we get here, right? Well, to make sense of this madness, we've got to rewind a bit and look at the one specific rule that turned this whole thing into a strategic puzzle.
It all comes down to a little thing called net run rate, or NRR for short. So when teams end up with the same number of points, NRR is the tiebreaker. Think of it like this. It's not just if you win, it's how much you win by. A huge, dominant victory is worth more than a squeaker. And on the flip side, losing by just a little bit is way better than getting crushed. Suddenly, the margin of the win or loss is everything.
And this table here, it shows you exactly why this match was do or die. Look, before the game, RCB is sitting in that 4th and final playoff spot with 14 points. But the Gujarat Warriors are breathing right down their necks with 12. So if the Warriors win this game, boom, both teams are tied at 14 points. And what happens in a tie? It all comes down to that net run rate we were just talking about. So what you get are these 2 totally conflicting goals. For the Warriors, a simple win just wouldn't cut it. They needed to win big. We're talking by at least 47 runs to leapfrog RCB's net run rate. Now for RCB, the goal was completely different. They didn't even need to win. Their mission was to lose gracefully. As long as they lost by less than 30 runs, their NRR was safe and they'd be in the playoffs. They were basically playing to lose, but, strategic.
Okay, so let's dive into the match itself, because this is where the math problem jumps off the page and onto the field. And trust me, this is where things get really weird. So here's how it all played out. From the get-go, the math was in charge. The Warriors, when they were batting, they just went for it. Total recklessness. They lost 4 of their batsmen, 4 wickets, but they piled on a huge 71 runs early on. They needed a massive score, and they didn't care how they got it. Then, when it was RCB's turn, they weren't even trying to win the game. Nope. They were in what you could call a calibrated chase, just trying to score enough to lose by the right margin. By about the 15th over, everyone watching knew exactly what was going on. And of course, it all came down to that insane final over. And there's this amazing moment where the Warriors captain looks out and just gets it. He realizes RCB is playing this game of inches, perfectly managing their run rate to lose by just the right amount. So what does he do? He can't beat them at their own math game. So, as the quote goes, he chose chaos. He starts doing crazy things, ridiculous field placements, weird bowling changes, anything to break RCB's rhythm, even if it meant giving up easy runs. He just had to disrupt the equation. Okay, let's pull back for a second here. Because this whole fiasco, it really shines a spotlight on a huge question in modern sports, right? What's the point? Is it about pure, honest competition? Or is it about creating something so dramatic, so unforgettable, that you just can't look away?
Well, if you're the league, the answer is pretty obvious. Because this game, this weird, broken, strategically insane game, became the most watched match in the history of Indian cricket. Think about that, 287 million people. They weren't tuning in for a textbook display of sport. They tuned in for the chaos, for the drama. And this chart really lays it all out. You could argue the sporting purity of this match was pretty low. I mean, a team was trying to lose, but the entertainment value, the viewer engagement, absolutely through the roof. And for a modern sports league, which, let's be honest, is an entertainment business, this was a home run, a massive success.
And look, this isn't just a cricket thing. This kind of strategic distortion, as it's called, happens all over the place. Think about Formula One, where a driver will actually slow down to save his tires so we can get a better finish later. Or soccer, where you see two teams just kind of kick the ball around for a boring draw because that result helps both of them advance. It's a huge takeaway here. The rules of any game can sometimes mess with the spirit of the game. It shows how the design of any system can lead to really weird, unintended results.
All right, so let's get back to the field, back to that final, heart-stopping moment. Because at this point, this isn't really a game of cricket anymore. It's not about skill in the traditional sense. It's about a bunch of players trying to solve a live math problem with millions of people watching.
So here it is, the final ball. RCB needs 2 runs. Exactly 2. Not 1, not 3, just 2. They get it, they lose the game, but they win the war. They're in the playoffs.
And the Warriors captain, embracing that chaos, sets a field that is just bizarre, something no one has ever seen. All 9 of his fielders are pushed way, way back to the edge of the field on the boundary line. He's basically saying, here, take a single run. Hit it for 4. I don't care. Just please overshoot the 2 runs.
The bowler runs in, delivers the ball, and the batsman connects. A perfect shot. The ball just screams off the bat, soaring towards the boundary. And for one heart-stopping second, it looks like it's going to be a 6, which would be a total disaster for RCB.
But then, out of nowhere, a fielder comes sprinting along the boundary line, dives full stretch, and pulls off an absolutely unbelievable catch. The batsman's out. Just like that, the game is over.
The final score is 203. RCB loses by 31 runs. 31. That's just one single run more than the margin they needed. And because of that one run, their season is done. They're out. Eliminated.
And that leaves us with this huge, lingering question, doesn't it? I mean, it was incredible to watch. It was tactical. It was brilliant. It was totally unforgettable. But if the rules of your sport actually incentivize you to lose, are you still playing a sport? Or are you just an actor in some kind of high-stakes, unscripted drama?